Maybe it's going. I don't know. Oh well. I know it's been a while, and I know it's been a while, so we're gonna do a flow that's just a nice flow. I'm not gonna use weights or anything like that today. You don't need to use weights, and if you already know that blocks help you with certain postures, you just immediately just grab them and have them there, or something that you could use to help make your arms longer or bring the floor closer up to you, whatever. If you know using a strap is what helps you regularly, this is something you should just always have with you for your practice, whether you're in a studio or not. And the same thing with a blanket. And the blanket's really for, for your sensitive knees. I can't actually go over how you would use that with your hands as well. One of the things that I'm going to do today is in my son B, I've got what I call an active runner's lunge stretch, which means as soon as we get into it, we're just finding whatever our depth actually happens to be. It's going to require it's a stretch plus glute strength to get you out of the movement. And I'll show you several options. So it's not to hang out in this particular stretch, especially not at the beginning when we're going to go through really a vigorous, could be vigorous, flow, definitely a challenging flow. So I typically always start standing up, especially at home because of the dogs. And right now they're asleep. We'll see how long that lasts as such. So find your place. Again, I play music in my ears, so I've got something. I enjoy music while I practice. Some people would rather not have music. You don't actually have to. Play your own music in the background that you feel is resonating with your body today, or that's something that you need for your practice. This is why we're drawn to certain types of music. I love really heavy beat type music, but that's kind of like for chakra type stuff, and I love that. All right, so I'm going to have my notes with me just in case so I can follow them. All right, so wherever you're at, find you're going to call the top of your mat. Okay, and I just have you stretch up, reach up, and just kind of get some of this. Maybe sitting too long, maybe not doing enough since you've been at home. I would have to say my activity level actually hasn't changed. I'm always walking the dogs. I'm always trying to do this stuff. So I get up and move a lot, but I know that's not what a lot of people do. So the movement helps the process of detoxification. It helps move it helps with the motility of our digestive system, the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, the intestines, etc. So movement is even more important right now. Okay, so you just stretch up, bring your hands to your heart, set your intention, whatever that is for you. Maybe that is simply just getting up and moving, even if it's not for the whole class. All right, so here we go. Inhale, reach up, push the hips forward just a bit. We're cold and tight, and then as you're ready to exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back to your high to low. I always personally start off with on my knees. And we come up into an up dog, and while you're here, you can feel free to stretch and move around, opening up that front of the body, especially if you have been doing a lot of sitting. That opening up of the front body is really, really important. And that helps wake us up too, because sometimes when you do a lot of sitting, we get really tired. And then it just drives us deeper into that sitting. So always feel free to pedal, to kick, to help loosening things up. It just feels good to move. And then inhale, push back, exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. You're going to bring your arms out to the side, moving through that half lift, contracting the shoulder blades, squeeze those cheeks. So squeezing the cheeks to help push the hips forward provides stabilization and a nice load transfer through the spine. Then as you're ready, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back, and it's your high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. You may find you still want that bigger overstretch going on through the body for that up dog or cobra. And we're just simply warming up. I know I can do a full push-up. I don't need to do it right off. I'm going to allow the joints and the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments to warm up to the idea of the movements. Don't have to rush it. Inhale, push back. Exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Arms out to the side, moving through the half lift. Contracting the shoulder blades, squeeze those cheeks, push the hips forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back to your high to low. And then inhale, up dog or cobra. And the difference is king cobra's got thighs on the floor, and then up dog would have the thighs off the floor. And then finding down dog. All right, so this is where you'll need a blanket or maybe folding up your mat a bit more. I'm going to have you come down to your knees. And we're going to open up the feet wider than the hips. And I know it seems kind of a bit early to try to get into hero's pose. It's kind of a brutal pose, especially on those knees. So be careful. So I'm going to go through different options. Okay, so I'm going to turn so you can see different options as well. Okay. One, I don't actually want you just to be in this particular position because all it captures is this aspect of the knee. I'm actually more interested in stretching the entire length of the quadricep, getting up into the hip flexors as well. So you're going to take the hands back, and you might find this is where you need blocks or a bit of assistance. We're going to tuck that tail under, bring the hip bones up towards the rib cage, and then bring the hips up. Now, I'm not going to sag in my shoulders. We don't need to traumatize your shoulders and irritate the passive structures for a stretch, okay? So we do want to push the floor away. That allows for a bit more length. So I need you to stay there because people like to let those knees open to find more depth to avoid that tight spot. This tight spot I'm after is this lateral part of the thigh. When you open up those knees, you miss that tightness and you start stretching more on the inside, which if you don't need that, you don't need that. Okay, so you can move, you can twist, and then release, coming forward again, back into your tabletop, curling the toes under, lifting up the hips. Now I stretch into the quads and the hip flexors before I start moving you into squats, because that's next, okay? Or Utkatasana, it's a great name for a squat. Okay. Now, inhale, push back. Exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Now, we're going to pause. So I'm going to have you inhale your left leg up first. I know it doesn't look like a squat, obviously. And then exhale, bring your left foot or left leg down. And then inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right leg down. Now we're going to bend the knees, drop the hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, so we're lifting up that torso. And then we're going to inhale, coming up to standing. Then exhale, we're going to side bend to the right or to the left. It doesn't really matter. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. Inhale, back to standing. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back. Now, if you feel warmer, I'm a bit warmer, feel a bit more prepped for a full push-up. But if you don't, stay on the knees. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, low lunge. We're going to stay on the back toes. Engage the glutes. Glutes, abs. With that inhale, pick you up to a crescent. And then as you're ready to exhale, keep those glutes tight as you twist towards the right. And then inhale back to the front of the room. And then, or mat. Exhale, we're going to now take the hands to the inside. Here's where the active runner's lunge comes from. Okay, so you only bend, or comes in. You're going to bend the elbows to whatever degree you can. Then we're going to straighten out the arms, come up on top of the fingertips, re-engage the glutes, because now glutes, abs have got to pick you up, and just keep the arms close to the body to make it a bit easier. And then exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. And then inhale, left leg up. Exhale, low lunge, staying on the back toes. Again, re-engage the glutes, those abs. With that inhale, help pull you up. Keep the glutes tight as you twist towards the left. Inhale, back to the front of the room. Exhale, take the hands to the inside. We bend the elbows. We straighten out the arms. Come up on the fingertips. Re-engage the glutes, glutes, abs. Help pull you back up to crescent. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. You're going to take your right hand, place it somewhere along the left side. Maybe it's the hip, maybe it's the knee, maybe it's at the ankle because you have that available range of motion. We twist a little bit. We're not going to stay here long. Then we're going to take the right hand back to down dog. Then you're going to take the left hand to the outside again, somewhere along that leg, bit of a twist, and then come back to your down dog. And then inhale, push back. Exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right leg down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, pausing on the exhale. Inhale to standing, exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to standing, exhale, side bend left. Inhale to standing, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back your high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, low lunge, staying on the back toes. Again, we re-engage the glutes, glutes, abs. With that inhale, help pull you up to crescent. Keep the glutes engaged as you twist towards the right. Inhale, back to the front of the room. Exhale, hands go to the inside. Again, you just bend the elbows to your degree. We straighten out the arms, come up on the fingertips. Re-engage the glutes, abs, coming on up. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Staying on the back toes, re-engage those glutes. Again, glutes, abs, help pull you up into crescent. Keep the glutes active as you twist. Inhale, back to the front of the room. Exhale, hands to the inside. We bend those elbows. We straighten out the arms. Come up on the fingertips. Re-engage the glutes, glutes, abs. With the inhale, pick you back up for crescent. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Taking the right hand, if you choose to the left side. Again, anywhere from that hip, waist, all the way down to the ankle. It's just a touch on it. We bring the hand back to down dog. Left hand goes to the outside of the right leg somewhere. And then back to down dog. So we're just going to do that one more time. So inhale, push back. Exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left leg down. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right leg down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, pausing on the exhale. Inhale to standing, exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to standing, exhale, side bend left. Inhale to standing, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back, high to low. You can always skip the vinyasa as you need to as well. Finding down dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, low lunge, staying on the back toes. Re-engage the glutes. Glutes, abs, help pick you up into crescent. Keep the glutes active as you twist towards the right. Inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, taking the hands to the inside. Again, we're going to straighten out the arms. We come up onto the rib or the fingertips. Re-engage the glutes, glutes, abs, pick you up. When you get more familiar with that, you can actually move a bit faster. I'm teaching it quite a bit slower. Hands to the floor, stepping back, high to low. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Staying on the back toes. Again, we re-engage the glutes. Glutes, abs, pick you up. Keep the glutes active as you twist towards the left. Inhale, back to the front of the room. Exhale, hands to the floor. We bend the elbows, straighten out the arms, come up on fingertips. Re-engage the glutes. Glutes, abs, pick you back up for crescent. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. So now we're going to take the right hand to the outside of that left leg again. Doesn't have to be the ankle. Can be whatever's available. And you also don't have to be in down dog. You can also do this on your knees. We're just going to be here a little bit longer because people's hands and shoulders and upper back can only hold them up for so long right here. Okay? So now we're going to take right hand back to down dog, but this time we're going to slide into plank. We're going to shift the hand weight into the right hand, going to the outer edges of your feet and opening up for side plank. I'm going to give you several options here. You can be on the knee. Now notice where my knee is at. My knee's not way down here. My knee, I propped it right underneath that hip. That props me up a bit more and helps you unload that hand with excessive loading, okay? Hands loaded anyway, okay? You can also have the top leg bent, bottom leg straight, but it's not to hang out down here. It's going to aggravate the wrist and the hand, okay? You can also, of course, be here, but notice my bottom foot. I'm not on the razor's edge. You can. That also is an option. It's the hardest option. Harder isn't always better. And I'm going to take this option today. Taking that top arm, reaching for the front of the room. And we're going to come around for your plank. Everybody's going to drop that right knee. Left leg stays out back behind you. Extend your right arm out behind you and make sure you don't sag in the left arm, okay? We re-engage the glutes, upper back. So that upper back, we push that floor away. Tuck the chin, bring the ears over the shoulders. So we're not looking forward, we're looking down, okay? We're not looking down at our knees. We're looking right where our thumb would be, okay? Now, we're going to bend the left leg, reach around and find your foot or ankle. If you can't find it from up here, you put the knee down. Shift backwards, get a hold of the foot to find your posture. Now, again, I'm not sagging in the shoulder to find depth in the posture. I don't want to trash my shoulders just for a hip flexor stretch. And release. Reach for the front, reach for the back. Hands and knees to the floor. Now, this is your upper push-up position. It's a hint. We're also going to do more than one. Now, I'm going to stay modified. You can stay in a box. You can be in a box position. You can be in a modified position. You can also be in a full position. We're just going to do 3 push-ups. Now, you don't have to go all the way down. The hard part, they're both hard, but the harder of the both parts is pushing up, okay? So now we're just going to run through a vinyasa and find down dog. Now you're going to take the left hand, place it on the outside of that left leg or that right leg somewhere. And again, we're going to be here just a little bit longer, so you can bring the knees to the floor if you need to. You can immediately come out of it as you need to. Now, take that left hand back to your down dog. Slide into plank. Shift your weight into the left hand. And again, you're going to open up. Now, choose your option wisely. If you're sagging in the shoulder, you're lowering those hips. The wrist has to take the brunt of that load. So we want to make sure those hips are lifted. We reach for the ceiling. We're not sagging. We push the floor away, reach for the same time. Take that top arm, reaching for the front of the room. Taking the right hand to the floor, we come around for that plank position. Everybody drops that left knee to the floor, keeping right leg extended out behind you. Left arm out in front. We re-engage the glutes, upper back. Again, that means we're not sagging. We push the floor away. Lift once again. We're not looking forward. We're not looking down at the knees. We're looking at probably the thumb. Bend the right leg. Reach around. Find your foot or ankle. And find this stretch. Remember, if you need to get into, drop the knee, shift backwards to get a hold of it. Feel free. And release. Reach for the front, reach for the back. Hands and knees to the floor. And again, you're just choosing your upper push-up position, which also means for hands, you can go wider. If you go wider, it also means the elbows need to track differently. Last one. And then we inhale, push, up dog, and then exhale, down dog. So turn around. And again, once you're here, feel free to pedal, to kick, to twist. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, low lunge. So we're going to stay on the back toe. We re-engage the glutes, glutes abs. So as soon as you re-engage those glutes, you're going to feel your hips square up and things tighten up, okay? Now we need the glutes, the abs to lift up the torso. And now arms alongside the body. So we're not looking forward. We're not rounded over because you think I need you to be parallel to the floor. You may have to come up higher. Arms are not right next to each other. Get them out past the mat a little bit so you can open up. So this isn't about the thumbs getting towards the ceiling because not everybody's shoulder rotation will allow for that. Most people will try this. That means you're going to round and you're going to defeat the purpose of heart opening and shoulder opening, okay, on the strength part of it. Re-engage the glutes and we're going to roll from the inside of those shoulders open, but we're going to try to go as far as we can. Tuck the chin to bring the ears over the shoulders. Those glutes are still active. Lower abdominals are helping those glutes. Upper back is taking care of the arms. Now, we re-engage those glutes. Glutes, abs help pick you up for crescent. Now, I know some people might be getting tired and you want to shift back to give that front leg a break. From the back foot, we push forward. Tiny bend into the knee because what that will do for the pelvis is put it back into a neutral position. If you try to straighten it out, it dumps you into an anterior tilt and puts more pressure on L2, L4, L5, L5, S1. Tiny, and it irritates the anterior portion of the hip. the capsule is what I was thinking of, sorry. So that tiny bend will allow you that pelvis to move back into a neutral position, and now will allow for a stretch, and then there's stability behind it, okay? Now that back toe will probably have something to say about this, so you got to find what that happy medium is. Now, re-engage those glutes. Glutes push you up. Now you can put your arms down for this for balance purposes. Just bring your back leg in just enough to ground the heel. Okay, I'm just going to turn so you can see some things. Okay, I'm not on a balance beam. I'm not on a balance beam. I'm on railroad tracks, okay? So we still engage the glutes, and we're going to hinge. I'm going to turn around again. This is probably where you might need your blocks if you need blocks. We're going to hinge. We keep everything tight up until a certain point because now we're folding and we need this to let go, okay? Now, when we get our hands to the floor or up on the blocks to help get that knee straight, you can shift your weight to the back leg, and as you shift that weight to the back leg, you can lift and open that left hip. You might find there's a bigger pull on the inside of the hamstring, the side body, and you may decide, ooh, I like that, and I want to work right there. Perfect. You can also shift some of that weight forward, taking that left hip to square it, and then take it down and around towards the right, and you'll get a bigger pull on that right hip. Maybe you're having trouble getting the legs straight, and you need to, I'm trying to find an arm position. So you might have to go a little straighter and then barely back out, a little straighter, barely come out, okay? But this is probably with that bent knee, this is probably where you need the blocks, okay? Now, you're going to take your left hand underneath your left shoulder. And again, this might be where you need a block to help find, watch my back, find length through the spine. Now I got a relatively flat upper back. I'm going to get nice rotation, but you might still kind of stay stuck right here. This is where the block is really helpful to help you find length, okay? Now we're going to find length through the spine. We re-engage the glutes, and again, that squares the hips up for you, and then we open up in the twist towards the right. Now, with this left arm, I'm not resting in it. This isn't a rest pose, okay? You've got to use your glutes, the abs, to help unload that hand as much as possible because your hand is there for support, not to rest on, okay? Now, this top arm, I'm twisting from the bottom arm, not the top. So if you're feeling a little bit extra pinching in that shoulder blade, you can take the arm and place it behind you and just get the arm out of the way. Now, you're just going to come back to the previous pose and just fold. And then we're just going to walk around towards the left for Prasarita. So Prasarita is simply a wide stance fold, okay? So while you're in this wide stance fold, feel free, I'm coming out of it, feel free to move around. Interlace the hands back behind the back. Shift the pelvis from right to left. Bend your knees. Come out of it and get a drink. We want to get what we actually need off of this pose. Okay, so now we're going to inhale, half lift, exhale, hands to waist. So you want to use your glutes, those abs, to help pull you up. Then exhale into a warrior two into the right leg. Okay, so when we get into that right leg, again, we re-engage the glutes, lower abdominals, glutes more than lower abdominals, upper back more than lower abdominals. Okay, everybody's involved in this movement. Okay, So now we're just going to find an inhale as you're ready to exhale. Take that right hand to the inside of your right foot. So now let's say you can't get all the way down. Grab a block. Grab something to help you get right there, okay? We're just going to take the top arm, reaching for the front of the room. We're still engaging the glutes. I want you to look down and forward, because when you look down and forward, hopefully what you're going to feel is that that upper back thoracic spine moves into extension, okay? We're going to straighten out that front leg. And again, I'm not resting in this bottom hand. I'm still using glutes, abs, because I should be able to just pick my hand up. If you're in class, I should be able to really kind of kick that block out from underneath you, okay? Now, we're going to bend that top knee or bottom knee, front knee, re-engage the glutes. Use those glutes to help pick you up for warrior two. Exhale, pivot around, hands to the floor, step it back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. And again, feel free to paddle, to kick, to twist. Getting settled before we get into the next side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, low lunge, staying on the back toes. And again, we want to engage those glutes. Again, when you engage the glutes, you're going to feel the pelvis square up on the front of the room for you. Re-engage the glutes again, glutes, abs, to lift up the torso. Keep them tight as you stick out the chest, out the tail, arms alongside the body. And again, we're trying to roll open from the shoulder socket, not from the hands. Hands are simply following that movement. If the arms are too close to the body, you lose range of motion. That's just inherent to the joint. So that's why you bring your arms out just past the mat a bit. Again, re-engage those glutes. Check in. I'm not looking down at my knee. I'm not looking down at my foot. I'm pulling my ears back over my shoulders, and my gaze is going to be, everybody's gaze is going to be different depending on how forward, tipped over you are. Now, re-engage the glutes. Glutes, abs, pick you up. For your crescent, again, check in. Did you shift into the back leg? From the back foot, you push forward. Re-engage the glutes. Slide those shoulders down the back. That back knee's got that tiny bend. Once again, that's to help the pelvis and the lumbar spine. Now, re-engage those glutes, because the glutes are going to straighten out those legs. We bring that back leg in just enough to ground the heel. Square those hips up again. You may have to go, if you're struggling with balance, are your feet from right to left more balanced, beam oriented versus more railroad track. Just take one foot out to the side a bit more. So again, we re-engage the glutes. Keep that tight as we hinge. And again, when we get at some point and we get into that fold, we have to let go of the tightness to finish the fold, because obviously we're trying to stretch this area. Again, if you need your blocks, grab blocks, because again, if you're shrugging your shoulders to get your legs straight, you're creating this illusion you're stretching your hamstrings, and all you're doing is tightening up your neck to make it look like you're stretching your hamstrings, when in reality you're not. So this is where the blocks play that nice role to enhance the posture for you. So again, you can shift your weight into the back leg, lifting up that right hip, opening up, seeing how this feels on this side versus the other side. And then taking that right hip down and around to get that pull on the hip. And again, we have to shift that weight forward a bit. It's okay for the heel to come off the floor. And again, if your knee is already bent, you can push it to its edge and then straighten, bend and straighten, but not to the original position. It's just barely coming off the tension. And now take your right hand underneath the right shoulder. Now I have to come out of the posture because My screen just went blank because and I didn't think that would happen while I was doing this, which is all right. All right, so remember you can use that block to place it underneath the hand to help you find length. We re-engage the glutes and we twist, okay? So I don't need the block today, okay? And again, I'm not gonna try to look behind me because that just pulls me into flexion, which will restrict your rotation. Looking down and forward helps bring your upper back into that pane of glass, and you'll be able to rotate more. If the arm is back here, you're in flexion. You will not be able to rotate as much, so you want to try to get your arm on top of the other arm as much as possible. Now, we take the left hand back to the floor, just folding into this previous pose. And then we're going to pivot around to the left or to the right. And I really, when I'm at home, I'm dorked up just as much as everybody else is. And it's your prasarita. Again, I'm going to come out of it because I want to drink. There's a lot of, I have a lot of flexibility in that pose. I don't need to create more flexibility. That will just, at the end, just hurt me. And so that's why I will typically come out, even when I'm teaching class, to get a drink. But I want you to move around, getting what you need off of it. Really important. So a lot of people want me to tell them what to do, and I will, but do the variation that's within that pose to help you out. You might need something other than what I'm trying to offer up today. All right, so you're going to come back to center. You're going to inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to waist. Use those glutes, those abs to help pull you up. Exhale, warrior two for that left side. Okay, so again, we're going to engage the glutes, draw the belly in, contract the upper back. Okay, we're going to find another inhale as you're ready to exhale. Left hand goes to the inside of the left foot. Once again, you're having trouble with that depth. You might have to take on different heights with that block as well to help you out. And again, a lot of people like to look down their leg or somewhere else. What I need you to look is down and forward, more at your foot than anything else. Take that top arm reaching for the front of the room. Keep re-engaging those glutes. Glutes engaged as you attempt to straighten out the leg. And again, I'm not resting in that left hand. My abs are engaged, my glutes are engaged, so I'm not overloading my wrist or my hands. I prefer to be on my fingertips. That's just me. Bend your left knee again. We re-engage the glutes because now those glutes, those abs have got to pick you up off the floor along with the inhale. And then as you're ready to exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back and running through your vinyasa, high to low. Good. And now inhale, push back, exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands. All right. Now, again, this might be a posture where you need the block, okay? So we're going to inhale, left leg up for standing split. So as you can see, my standing splits are I guess not beautiful, I suppose. I don't actually really care. I just know that I can get my legs apart in this posture and I don't need to change anything else about it, okay? I don't need to look like everybody else in the pictures. Now, you might need your block, okay? If your knee is bent and you're way out here trying to do your standing splits, you're actually doing more of a deadlift lunge type thing, which is way more work than you need to be doing for this posture, even though this posture is a lot of work. So this is where the block comes in to help you straighten out the leg. But again, you want to be careful to not just to not just dump. Okay, I can't dump in my block because my dog ate half of it. Okay, so we want to tuck the chin to either look at the right knee or the left knee. We want to engage the glutes, slide those shoulders down the back. Oh, goodness. Today I'm really shaky. Okay, so now we're going to straighten out the arms. We re-engage the glutes. You're going to feel the pelvis rotate. Let it. Glutes, abs, going to pick you up. Now, for some of you, first of all, it's really hard to do. It's a hard thing to do, to come out of that posture like that. So you may end up falling out, and you may have to just start from the top position. Still engage the glutes, draw the belly in, upper back. So upper back, if you're having trouble with that contraction, just reach for each side of the room. You'll feel the upper back activate. Good. Now, you're going to come all the way up to standing. Bring your left foot to meet the right. And now you're going to cross right ankle right above the knee and sit for a stretch. It's an unfair stretch, really, because I'm asking you to balance on top of it. Okay? Now, hips do go aft, not forward, unless you just want to take all your body weight and load that into the knee without the help of the hips, and you'll miss the stretch altogether. Okay? So when you shift that weight back into the heel, let the hips go out, you're going to get the stretch that you're going to get a stretch on that right hip. Maybe not the one you're looking for because we're in a balanced posture. You can bring your hands to your heart. Boy, there's lots of places to go here, but I'm not going to do that for you today. Maybe on another one, okay? Now, we're going to come out, release the leg, send the leg back, tip forward, your left leg goes back, sorry. And then you're going to take the hands to the floor. Again, you might need the block, again, for this. We're going to open up to start off with a half moon. But I want you to bend the knee. Notice how I'm bending the knee. I'm flexing so I can get a hold of my ankle. You may have to do this to get a hold of the ankle. Ooh, lift and open. Okay? Again, we do engage the glutes because I'm not stretching them, but careful about how you have the weight in the right foot. You shouldn't be able to lift up your toes easily. So I got to shift some of my weight back into the forefoot, which means I'm pulling my knee out from hyperextension. This is hyperextension of the knee. And I'm going to pull some of that weight forward to get it into straight. So it seems pretty wobbly. Good. That's where engaging the glutes to help tighten up not just the glutes, but the quads and the hams to provide stability for that knee. We're going to release and take left hand to the floor, rotate around, bring left foot to meet the right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Yikes, this feels really hard today. Inhale. Right leg up. Okay, once again, if your knee's bent and you're forward, I need you to walk back, grab a block, chair, basketball, water bottle. I don't really care what it is to help get that leg straight. We tuck the chin again to look at the left knee, right knee. Gauge those glutes, slide the shoulders down the back, equal weight, front to back. Again, you don't want to be in hyperextension. That's what hyperextension looks like. I'm going to pull some of that weight forward. Again, so I can re-engage to create some stability here. And now, use those glutes again. Glutes, abs. Whoa. Pick you up into your airplane. And again, it's not about being parallel. I'm quite wobbly in all the postures today. Good. And now we're going to come all the way up. We're going to bring right foot to meet the left. We're going to take left leg, cross it right above right knee. We sit back for a figure four. My screen did that again. Okay, this is making me a bit unhappy about that. That's all right, I guess. Okay. It's probably why I usually film and then upload it onto YouTube first. All right. So we're going to come on out. We release. Shift weight back into the left leg, send right leg back. Finding that airplane first. We're not hanging out here. Take the left hand underneath the left shoulder again. You might need your block. Okay. Bend that right leg. And again, you may have to, when you're getting a hold of that right foot, you may have to bend both knees, come up. You might have to make it really robotic. Make sure the knee's not hyperextended. Re-engage those glutes. And even when I'm trying to do that, it's knocking me out of the pose. That is because I have hit my edge of strength. That's one of the reasons why it's knocking me out. It's not because I'm weak. It's because my body has literally had enough of this. Okay, because I also... All right, here we go. Let me finish this first. Release the leg. Re-engage those glutes. Right hand to the floor. Rotate the pelvis around. Bring right foot to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or jump back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. All right, coming down to your knees again. We're going to cross at the ankles. Have a seat. So I already walked my dogs today. It's an hour and a half of walking. It's around 4 miles. And it's a lot of work. It wipes me out. All right. Find a comfortable place to sit. If this isn't comfortable, again, this is where blocks can come in to place underneath the thighs for you to provide some support. Maybe you need to be sitting up on top of a blanket to help provide that space for the body as well. So we're going to sit nice and tall. We tuck the chin to bring the ears over the shoulder. Take left ear as though you're pouring water on top of left shoulder. We're going to take right shoulder, anchor it down. So now it's like I'm literally facing you. Okay, and we're going to keep that shoulder anchored as we roll the head back and around. When the head lines up on the spine, we let go of anchoring your right shoulder. We anchor left shoulder. Continue to roll, and as that right ear comes around, we tuck the chin to bring the ear over the shoulder. We keep the head in this side bend, and we take the head down and across like I'm trying to look at my left shoulder. And then we rotate that head back around while we keep the left shoulder anchored. When the head lines up on the spine, we let go of anchoring left shoulder. We re-anchor right shoulder. Continue to roll as the head comes around towards that left shoulder. We tuck the chin to bring the ear over the shoulder. And take the head down and across. And release. So this is where you do need your strap to bring the arms up. Now, some of you may be way out here and your arms are still bent. Okay. There's far more to the shoulder release than stretching your shoulders. There's thoracic mobilizations that need to happen and a whole bunch of not so usual suspects to release. Okay, that gets a little tricky in a video. This is where being in studio is far more helpful. And again, we're just looking for a release today, especially like it is almost noon here. So I'm still not looking for a long held stretch. I still have things to do today. They might not be overly active since I got most of those done today. Okay, you can keep doing that as I roll my strap back up. Okay. Now, we're going to go back into this half hero pose. We're going to go into a half hero pose. So you're going to take So I'm going to cue it as though you are actually facing me. Okay, so it's my left foot in half hero. So if you notice, I'm really crooked. Okay, so some of that has to do with a good tightness that I have on my ankle. A lot of people have that, and so I'm kind of pushing myself out of it. And then the other part of it is it's just tightnesses that are sitting here. So this is where your block or a blanket is really beneficial to place underneath that right sits bone, just the right one. So now pelvis is as level as I can get it. You might still need some work with that, but that's okay. But now what that does with the stretch is it shifts it where I need it. And notice my knee's not way out here. I need it much closer than that. The tight muscle is here on 99.9% of the people walking into a yoga class, okay? And probably 99.9% of people who are not walking into yoga classes, okay? It's quite a tight issue. So if it's the ankle that's getting you and you're just like, I can't get it, just relax, release, come out of it, go back into it. There's just adhesions coming across on that reticulum because running, hiking, cycling, living, okay? They just need a bit of a break, okay? So I'm just going to have you lean back again. We're going to tuck the tail under, and again, to get the rest of the quadricep and hip flexors involved into the stretch. I'm not going to sag on my shoulders. I still push the floor away. Maybe I need to go wider, being propped up. I don't actually have to go very far. And then again, you can twist and move around. It catches it a bit differently. Maybe you got to let it go out for a second, and then you pull it back in. And then we release. We come on out. And then we lean forward. Okay. This might be where you want your strap. Sorry. Daisy's like so cute. Right now I'll have to post a picture if I can get a picture before she moves. She's sleeping right on top of Louie. So you can pull on the inside of the foot, pull on the outside of the foot. You can find some depth. You can twist your shoulders. Again, this won't be just about the hamstring. Calf's involved, right behind the knee is involved, low back is involved. Okay. So now you're going to slide that foot in. For some of you, this is a hip stretch. You can easily stay there. Some of you need to bring it up higher. If your foot is mid-thigh forward, this is where foot flexion is important because that knee is making a 90-degree angle, okay? If you're coming closer to the crease, this is where pointing the toe is more beneficial because the angle of the knee is more acute, okay? It's not about being here, okay? If there's some pull, some irritation, subtle. Most people forget about the subtle because it's not hurting. I'm not worried about those. Most people will get out of that. It's that subtle one that people are like, oh, I can be in this until the posture's over. By the way, those are the ones that get you in trouble in the long run. Okay? So we're going to sit nice and tall. Hand goes to the foot or ankle. You're going to sit nice and tall. You're going to rotate to the right. You're going to take that right hand and wrap it around the waist. And it's only if your foot happens to be in the crease would you be able to grab it. Should be easily grabbed. It's just available. It just means I have excessive flexibility. That's all. If you do have a hold of your foot, you can take the right hand or left hand to the knee. We twist at the shoulders first, then the gaze. And then we release. We come out of it. Careful, I like to try to do this. I don't lean on that left hip to pull the block or the blanket out. Double pigeon. Double pigeon is not available for everybody. That's okay. It doesn't mean it's not yoga. It doesn't mean you're less than. It just means your hips don't do that, okay? Bottom leg can be 90 degrees, but if it's at 90 degrees and it makes this stretch go, ugh, just pull the foot closer. That decreases the intensity of the top leg, okay? As you gain more or get more release, you can start to pull that foot out more, okay? Now let's say you just can't get it in at all. My stupid computer's going again. Hang on. So annoying. Is that how that was? So now I can't even remember. Okay. Let's say that you can't do this one. You take the bottom leg, straighten it out, and you go into this hip stretch, okay? It's about finding the hip stretch that works for you, okay? Now, if you're in double pigeon, you can lean forward. You can start to get a pull on those glute medius, the QLs. You can rotate, you get another pull. And don't hang out and going, God, why isn't this releasing? Why isn't it releasing? Sometimes the body needs you to release to get back into the stretch for the release, okay? And then go ahead and come out all together. And we're going to switch sides, so that block's going to come underneath that left hip. And foot is in half hero. All right, so, and again, we're going to lean back, tuck that pelvis under. Again, I start off sagging in my shoulders too, so we want to make sure that we're nice and strong in that upper quarter. We're not trashing the shoulders so we can find a stretch, okay? And then release, you can lean forward, and again, we can pull. If you need to be there longer, feel free to be there longer, okay? You can twist at the shoulders. And go ahead and pull either that foot in. Again, find your spot on your leg. Doesn't have to be half lotus. See, like I get this slight pinch right there. So I know I need to come out, shake it out. If it goes away, I'm going to stay here. If it didn't go away, I would not have stayed there. Okay, so we're going to get nice and tall. We're going to rotate to the left. We take left hand and wrap it around the waist, and it's only if the foot's available is if you grab it. If you have a hold of your foot, you take that right hand, push it on left knee. But either way, we're going to rotate at the shoulders, then the gaze. And release. We're going to bring that bottom leg out from underneath. I'm going to fall off that block. And you're going to find what your hip stretch is. So when I get into this particular hip stretch with this leg on top, it's too intense. It's not going to let go no matter how long I try to hold that posture. So when I come out and then go back in, body says, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay? So remember, you might be in this variation of the posture. Perfect. If that happens to be the case, okay? And you can lean forward, you can rotate, and you can come back to center. We're going to come all the way up, release all the way, and then we're going to roll onto our backs and hug the knees in towards the chest. And release. Feet are flat on the floor. Arms alongside the body. We're going to lift up the hips. And we're going to interlace the hands underneath if that's available. And if it's also available to scooch those shoulder blades closer together, feel free. We're going to lift the hips, but not just straight up. We're going to push back into the shoulder blades a bit. So this way the spine has a nice load transfer. And we're just going to release, lower the hips, take the feet a bit wider and just let the knees fall in. And now we're going to straighten out the legs. If your lower back says, yeah, that seems like a good idea. If it doesn't, you can move into Supta Baddha Konasana or butterfly on your back. I'm simply going to sit up for this. Okay? And you're just going to now take these last few moments to allow the mind and the body to acclimate to all the changes that we took on today. I did a lot more instruction, so I slowed quite a bit down. So there's going to be a lot more work that you did, a lot more thinking that you did. So there might be a bit more of fatigue from all the thinking, really. Okay. Especially if some of this is new for you. So we just want to allow this time for the body and the mind to acclimate before we get up and take on the rest of the day. Just noticing how the inhales expand the body as it enters the nose, the lungs, the body, and how the body responds to when you exhale and let it all out. And just begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, the ankles, the wrists. Bringing your arms up overhead for a nice big stretch as you come all the way back up into your space. And then hugging your knees in towards your chest, rolling either to the right or to the left. And then coming up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes are soft or closed to seal in your practice. I know it was a short Shavasana. You may need to go back and just go into a meditation for a little bit longer because you've got some quiet time. And otherwise, thank you for pausing your day and joining me to help fill ourselves back up full of love and compassion so we can go back out into the world to share it. So thank you for coming, and namaste. Have a great one.